Mika was talking about the internet, I had a flashback, and I'm dating myself. 1995, someone said, go to this URL. I'm like, what's a URL? They're like, oh, type this address into a browser. I'm like, what's a browser? So that was 1995. I was at Oracle at that time. So I wanted to focus in on taking that double click down and saying, what are we doing to deliver AI-powered customer and employee experiences for the Fortune 5 million, not just the Fortune 500. We want to be able to deliver services for a large, broad swath of companies. So our portfolio consists of three pieces. There is the IT service management, IT asset management, IT operations management portfolio, where customers' employees can get responses to any questions, be they IT questions, HR questions, benefits questions, in their channel of choice. It could be Teams, it could be Slack. Then there is the customer service portfolio, how customers can deliver omni-channel support across conversations, tickets, et cetera, to their customers, and how the agents could be really productive. And then there's the sales and marketing portfolio, which is about how we make sellers more productive and how we help marketers be able to drive more intelligent marketing campaigns for better return. And all these pieces actually run on the Neo platform. And at the heart of the Neo platform is Freddy AI. And just picking off from what Mika was talking about, our focus is one, uncomplicated AI, meaning how do we get you to get the value from AI without needing data engineers and machine learning engineers, data scientists? Two, innovation in generative AI is happening at breakneck scale. How can you actually benefit from the breakneck scale without locking yourself out of future innovation by picking one large language model because that was the best thing at that point in time? And three, your data is your data. How do you get value from it? How is there zero data leakage? And how do you have confidence that your PII data is not going to get into the public domain? So that's the foundation of my talk that I'm going to talk about, these three sections. So let's start with the first section, which is around uncomplicated AI. What we had to do is we had to go to every persona that we help service and support and reimagine what would each persona do? How would they engage because of generative AI? And we had been doing AI and GPT-2 since 2018, but this was different. So customers and employees, how do they get a different level of self-service with intelligent, smart interactions? If you look at the agent portfolio with Freddy self-service, then for the agents, how do you have an always-on, smart, expert assistant riding alongside your shoulders, providing you recommendations, giving you summaries of the problems, helping you along the way, coaching you? That's Freddy Copilot. And then there's insights. How do you as business leaders improve the efficiency of your operations rather than going and asking, what is going on? Let me generate these reports. How does the system proactively nudge you? And these are the things that you should be thinking about. So let's double click again into each of these. And let's go to Freddy self-service. How many of you have had wonderful engagements with bots? OK, there are very few hands that have come up, right? And the thing is, there's one big difference in what has happened with generative AI, which is intent detection. Generative AI is able to understand the intent of your customer very well and understand the sentiment of your customer really well. And when bots are built leveraging generative AI, it enables you to have real conversations with those bots, right? So we're now able to have real conversations. We're able to support in 40+ languages. So your customer could be talking French, German, Spanish, but we'll be able to, our customer support agent can support them in that language, even though they don't speak that language. And being able to leverage data that's outside the systems to personalize those interactions. Now, when you move that same thing into employees, employees can engage on Teams and Slack. They don't have to go find the help portal. They don't have to find the HR portal or the benefits portal. They just ask a question in Slack. We're able to understand what their intent was. We're able to respond, and we're able to leverage information from across the breadth of your ecosystem to be able to provide real responses rather than just links to information. And our customers have been saying wonderful things about the value that they're getting from these new AI agents or these new bots. TaylorMade, I love golf. I don't know how many of you play golf. I used to play very regularly until my kids came around. I'm hoping to get back to it now that my kids are in college. But they built a bot called Caddy, very aptly named, for their employees. And they were able to get 50% decrease in their average resolution time, in how fast the customers got responded to. PhonePe, which is a transactional payment processor in India, supporting 300 million customers. They were able to tune their bots to the point where they were getting 80% deflection on the inquiries that are coming in. That means that much less work that goes to agents, and agents can be more productive. But what's next? Next is hyper-personalization. We have a lot of data. And how do we leverage all of this data to understand what is the customer coming to you for? You're almost predicting what they're coming to you for rather than them telling you what is it that they're needing. And you'll see some of that in the demo. And hyper-personalization is about leveraging AI and that large amount of data to serve a market of millions as you would a million markets of one, where each of you are that market and you feel like you're personally being engaged with. So what are we doing to give hyper-personalization to you? One, we're building AI agents, or giving you the ability to build AI agents without needing any coding. For example, you're a hotel chain, and you're a customer leader of a hotel chain. And you want to make sure that when customers check in, they're able to ask you questions. For example, I'm vegan. I'm not, but let's say I'm a customer that's vegan. I'm like a meat eater like crazy. But let's say I'm vegan, and I want to find out vegan choices available on the menu. Well, in the past, you would have to design the flow of that conversation, what should be responded to, et cetera. Whereas now with generative AI, we're able to just say, customer leader, please upload the menus for your Seattle restaurant, for your Manhattan restaurant, for your San Francisco restaurant. And at the time of engagement, we know the customer wants to find out vegan choices. We're able to go find the appropriate document. We're able to parse through the document, understand what the vegan offerings on that document for that particular hotel in that city, and bring that back. You can do all of that without writing any code, without a single line of code, and customer leaders can do that. Second, these interactions are multimodal, where you're using pictures, you're using audio, you're using video to connect, and they're multi-turn, meaning you can have a back and forth, and the AI agent is actually able to follow along. And it's also able to follow along when you switch context, where you're like, OK, I don't want to order something from the vegan menu yet, but I want to extend my stay. Now, how do we make sure that the context is understood and we change without needing, again, any flow around it? And lastly, being able to do proactive actions where if a reservation needs to be done, that reservation can also be done by the agent. So with that, I'd love to show you a demo around Freddy Self-Service, and I'd like to invite Leslie to the stage.
Well, I'm really excited to be here today and to show you this live. Let me first introduce to you our fictitious company that's centered around our demonstration today. Our fictitious company is going to be Real Luxe. Real Luxe is a premier consignment store that provides luxury designer clothing and accessories. We're going to walk through two personas. First one is Customer Elise. Customer Elise is a marketing executive from New York. And not only is she a huge fashionista, but she absolutely loves Justin Timberlake, too. I don't know about you, but Justin Timberlake, I think, is having a concert in New York soon, so she's looking forward to that. She landed VIP tickets to his concert, and she wants to look the absolute best when she goes. So let's go ahead and start the demo. We're going to start in Customer Elise's shoes. She had just purchased a red Valentino dress from Real Luxe. Her dress arrives 2 days later. However, when she opens it, it's a green dress and not a red one. So when she finds out about that, she's upset and wants to contact Real Luxe support on WhatsApp to get help. She goes ahead and contacts Real Luxe support on WhatsApp, which is powered by Freddy Self-Service. The Freddy Self-Service bot can go ahead and ask what she needs help with. She provides a little context saying, I need help with the dress I ordered 2 days ago. The bot identifies her intent and seamlessly surfaces up her recent order, also providing a visual of what she had originally purchased. It also prompts her to describe the issue or take a photo of the dress that she had received instead. So she goes ahead and sends a photo of that green dress. What Freddy's going to do next is the basis of the power of Freddy AI. and generative AI. Freddy is going to analyze that image, compare it to the red dress that she had actually purchased, and based on the analysis, recognize that the wrong dress was actually delivered. So imagine a world without this, without generative AI. You have probably been there. I've been there myself. I text a lot. I have to type it all out. What's wrong with the dress? What's going on? It's a lot of typing, and none of us want carpal tunnel, right? So in this scenario, with generative AI, all she has to do is send an image of what she had received, and we can have generative AI do the rest. Now, Freddy presents, would you like a replacement instead? She agrees to that and says yes. Let's go ahead and process an exchange, and she's immediately given an estimated delivery date, saying it's 5 to 7 business days from now. Now, she's anxious, and she wants, the concert is actually coming up really soon, so 5 to 7 business days is not going to fly with her. If you're like me and you speak multiple languages, you might start speaking in your native language when you get really anxious. So in Elise's case, she starts spewing languages in French. I can't wait 5 to 7 days, I need it now, and then insert French. Freddy can go ahead and understand that there were multilingual sentences and responds back in multiple languages, confirming that an immediate replacement can be expedited through the shipping method instead. So take note, if you have global customers, this is what's really going to help support them across all the different languages, and you're not limited to just English now. Now, she has no other issues, so she's good to go, and her issue is resolved. Now, I'm going to give you a hypothetical scenario here. If Elise did have further questions, and this is where customer support agent Ethan comes into play. If she did have further questions or issues about the thing that happened to her, her conversation would get immediately escalated to a live agent, so Agent Ethan. Now, Agent Ethan in this UI, he's able to get instantly up to speed with a quick generative AI summarization capability. So instead of having to read and scroll up through all the information, he gets that summary right out the gate. Now, this is just a preview of Freddy Copilot for customer service agents. But I encourage you, if you're interested in this, come to our CX breakout session to learn a little bit more on the Copilot capabilities for service agents. For now, let's go ahead and recap what we just saw. Everything you saw was centered around customer convenience. With multimodal, multilingual, multi-turn conversations, Freddy will be able to understand the context and intent of what the customer is asking for. In this scenario, Elise was also able to send an image instead of having to type out everything, making it convenient for her to get the support she needs. And on top of that, she spoke in multiple languages, French and English, and was able to still get the support she needs. Last but not least, Freddy was also able to bring in external data from other systems, other databases that you may have, such as an order management system, and directly pull that in here for Elise's convenience to interact with. So I know we just saw a lot about customer service, but you want to talk a little bit about what we're doing in the IT space?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, big round of applause for Leslie. She's brave to be here doing a live demo. Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you.
Yeah. One of the things is, these integrations, we've invested a lot in integrating into various ecosystem of applications. For example, in the IT side with Workday or with Bamboo HR, on the CX side with different places where you want to do data sync and connect your data with external systems. And the AI can also access that data by making those function calls. So let's step down now into the Freddy Copilot. So we've done self-service Copilot. So this is that always-on assistant. When the agent logs in, the agent is being provided a summary of everything that's happened so far. Imagine on an IT ticket, how many different people might touch that IT ticket. And every time a new agent comes on a new shift, they have to go read through the whole thing. Well, no more. A summary is provided to them. They're provided insights into what is the next best action that they could do. They're provided the ability to provide, they're given responses that they could respond with. So they don't even have to type up those responses. If they do type up responses, it's actually being able to give them some suggestions on rephrasing, where the English could be better, or the tone could be friendlier, or tone could be comical, or tone is aligned to your brand. And finally, it also gives them insight into how to prioritize which incidents to work on. For example, on the customer service side, someone who's really upset, you want to get to them first. And you've been able to understand, or AI has been able to understand who's really upset based on the conversations that have been had. And this isn't just for IT or customer support, and even for marketing, where we're being able to help our marketers be able to build marketing campaigns, suggest marketing campaigns for them, suggest audiences, suggest when those campaigns should be sent out. But it also extends to developers, where today, if a developer wants to build an integration between, let's say, Shopify and Freshdesk, they can just type in a sentence saying, I want to build an integration between my Shopify catalog and Freshdesk. And we're able to build that integration out for them. And it's not just that. They could even take an image of a user interface that they might have designed on a napkin, take a photo of it, upload that, and we're able to generate the code that represents that user interface. So being able to build integrations, being able to build extensions becomes that much faster. And our customers have been really excited since we launched the Copilot capabilities earlier this year. Hinge Health, early stage startup, but having physicians work with customers, they've had significant increase in their CSAT scores. They're now at 85% CSAT scores from their customers, who are people like us. Mr. Fly, they handle 750,000 different itineraries for their customers, travel itineraries. They were struggling because of the volume of engagement that need to be had. Using the rephraser capability, using the summarization capability, they've been able to decrease the average resolution time from 13.5 hours down to 3.5 hours, all while the volume of incoming messages has doubled. So how do we then take the human agent to the next level with the AI agent, where the human agent is now actually able to be a consultant, be able to provide consultative advice, be able to provide some recommendations, and under the covers is driving cross-sell, upsell, and better engagement. And using all the data that we're gathering in the tickets, in the interactions that are happening. To that end, we're focusing a lot on, one, being able to federate information from a variety of different sources. It doesn't just have to be in your knowledge base. It can be in your corporate systems, in Google Docs, in SharePoint, in Confluence, et cetera. We're being able to federate, create an index off of that, and then use generative AI to use retrieval augmented generation to be able to provide really good answers and personalized, intelligent recommendations. Two, taking that agent coaching around rephrasing, et cetera, to the next level, where we watch what questions are the agents answering, we understand the skill sets that those agents have, and then we identify the gaps that exist in being able to increase their capabilities to deliver even better service and build personalized coaching plans for these agents. And lastly is AI agents orchestrating other AI agents to perform complex tasks on behalf of the human agents. So let me give you an example. I'm sure you guys have all ordered appliances. We just had Memorial Day, tons of appliances getting ordered. Well, let's say a fridge was ordered, and somewhere along the way, when the fridge was coming to my home, it got damaged. Well, now there are a number of steps that have to happen. The shipping company, claim needs to be filed with the shipping company, a new fridge needs to be ordered, inventory needs to be checked, rescheduling has to be done for when the new fridge can be deployed, can be shipped, deployed. I'm thinking too much product and releases, but when the appliance can be installed and when the old one can be taken away. All of this can now be automated with one AI agent kicking off a bunch of different AI agents that are able to be orchestrated to complete that task on behalf of the human agent. And with that, our second demo, Alex Tran, coming on to show us the IT employee service demo on Copilot.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Siddharth. So really excited to show off what Freddy Copilot can do, especially for an internal IT use case. So let's preface with Lauren. She's an employee at Real Lux. She's a sales rep, and she's trying to update an opportunity in her CRM. But unfortunately, she's not getting the right access to the CRM she expected. So what she's going to do is go to the virtual agent on Slack, get some recommendations on maybe potentially resetting her password. But unfortunately, that doesn't address her issues. So what the virtual agent is going to do is automatically create that ticket on her behalf and make sure it gets routed to IT in an appropriate fashion. So let's go ahead and dive into Jack's experience, who's going to be IT agent we're going to focus on for today.
That's the demo, right? So they can switch to the demo.
Yep.
Yeah, OK, great.
So here, we'll initially see Jack's screen on the agent UI. And again, this ticket got escalated to him as that new IT agent. So what Freddy Copilot can do, leveraging generative AI, is I can automatically develop a summary that'll walk through each sequential step that's happened on the ticket so far. This is all context I don't have to comb through the ticket for, go through the private notes for. Immediately, I can see that Lauren already tried some different troubleshooting issues. The virtual agent created the ticket on her behalf. And now I can start moving on to other contexts to help me assess what I should do as a next step. So next, we have Freddy's suggestions to help provide recommendations on other similar incidents that are going on. So opposed to me trying to go through and search and query through all sorts of random tickets and try to understand what else might be impacting that CRM issue, I can immediately see top 3 results and understand that, hey, these are other agents that are working on that same CRM incident. I can start collaborating with them and understand that looks like we have a partial outage that's going on that's impacting Lauren's region. So lastly, now that I understand what the overarching issue is, I can see that Freddy's suggestions is also giving me context on how I should escalate that incident appropriately. So opposed to me having to, again, go through historical ticket data myself, understand what other people did on their incident, Freddy's going to know that contextually all through that historical ticket data and say that let's automatically update this from a low to a medium urgency. So 3 different things where I'm getting the context I need immediately, saving me all sorts of time to me to start drafting that response so we can take action and actually help resolve Lauren's issue. So last thing here we're going to do is generate a response all through generative AI. Now this is going to do a couple of different things. It's going to, number 1, understand that Lauren's already had that issue and give her some context about how that is impacting her region. Number 2, it's going to give her a quick document in terms of a workaround to say that, hey, it looks like the CRM for the mobile is working fine. You can still update your opportunity like a sales rep and go ahead and view some attached articles in the bottom if you have trouble actually logging into the mobile app. Lastly is going to be the application status page. This is where she can subscribe, get proactive updates about what's going on. And then this is going to get me 90% of the way for that initial response. So it's extremely intelligent, but let's say I want to maybe do some final edits, add a quick hyperlink, and then send this so Lauren can be made aware of exactly what she needs to do as a next step and get those proactive updates. Now let's say once I've done my part as an agent, I've drafted a response, made her aware, I've learned that after a couple hours later, the network team is already working on the outage, they've resolved it, and I can go ahead and actually work on that resolution note in terms of that post-mortem. So when we think about post-resolution, RCA, never the most fun thing to do as an agent. I know as an agent, it was always pretty time-consuming. So as we think about what Freddy AI can do and leverage generative AI as well, is actually break down root cause, actions taken, as well as that overarching resolution. Now think about all the different time it'll save and making sure that Jack hits his resolution and response SLAs as efficiently as possible.
Excellent, excellent. Great job, Alex. Who all wants a Copilot like that? So let's go to the last part here is Freddy Insights, which is how proactively we're looking at all the data. We're looking at the trends and patterns in the data and identifying what might be going wrong or what you might want to work on to increase operational efficiency or better engagement with your customers. So for example, CSAT score. We're able to tell you your CSAT scores are declining. Here are the 3 agents whose survey responses are not as great. And then here are the recommendations or potentially skills or training that they need to get, right? That's an example of Freddy Insights. And today people put stuff into the knowledge base, but that stuff is very limited in terms of what you put into the knowledge base. No one likes to put stuff into the knowledge base. So we're now going across and doing federated search across all your corporate repository. We're leveraging all the insight in your tickets itself to be able to build a very robust knowledge base that can help you with domain-specific insights. So for example, if you're a tire company, giving insights into, hey, these are the 5 problems that are coming up with the tires because of all the tickets that are coming in or all the conversations that we're having with your customers. And being able to create autonomous processes. So if you just give us a standard operating procedure document around how a particular IT operations management incident gets handled or how a customer service incident gets handled, we're actually going to be able to build that entire workflow for you. You don't need to build that workflow, and we'll watch the usage of that, the work in that workflow and tune it on an ongoing basis. So that's autonomous workflows. Generative AI has the ability to take that text from the document and do actions on that or create that workflow. So we don't need us to be doing those workflow creations.
So at Freshworks, if you go to the next slide, at Freshworks, we are reimagining the way that customer service leaders are like Adam, can better understand data and take more immediate action on it. While Adam is starting his day, Freddy shares insights regarding 3 high-frequency customer contact scenarios. Adam's going to go ahead and drill into it, and Freddy goes ahead and provides him the top 3 use cases his team has been receiving. And he sees at the very top, returns and replacements is at 26%. That's really high for him, and he's a little concerned. So he wants to understand more. Customer service leader Adam asks to show some example customer queries about the returns and replacement contact scenario. And Freddy presents that. This is the exact verbiage customers are asking about it. Now, this is the world of generative AI. Before Gen AI, Adam would have to jump through multiple hoops to get to this specific conclusion of 26%. He'd have to identify the attribution. He'd tell his BI team to unstructure that structure or structure the unstructured data, create a report out of it, generate the report, understand the report, do all of that stuff, right? We've all been there. Instead, all he has to do is interact with Freddy Insights to get that exact same insight immediately. So he's empowered to now take immediate action off of this. And with this knowledge, Adam goes ahead and say, let's make it easier for our customers to learn about our returns and replacements. Adam goes ahead and says, Freddy, go ahead and show some bot flows for the above scenarios. Freddy's going to create predefined steps for each of these top 3 contact scenarios, such as collecting the order ID, what is the issue at hand, for every single one, providing a description of the issue, so on and so forth. He says, this is great, looks good to me. I'm going to go ahead and create a bot with those specific predefined flows and deploy it so my customers can use it immediately. He selects WhatsApp as the channel, and Freddy goes ahead and creates that bot in WhatsApp for him. So Freddy here is able to reduce the administrative effort of creating a bot, and configuration for customer service leaders like Adam has been easier now than ever before. So let's go ahead and recap. We saw how Freddy was able to identify the root cause of an issue by understanding customer intent and automatically categorizing millions and millions of customer queries. An example of the output that you saw earlier is the top 3 contact scenarios. Freddy can provide other additional insights as well. And last but not least, Freddy can take action on that. He can create a comprehensive bot with pre-built steps to deflect those inquiries for the customers of RealLux.
Excellent. Thank you, Leslie. It's a great demo of Freddy Insights. I know we're getting short on time, so the second key, this is all about uncomplicated AI. So innovation at scale. The key thing is you don't want to get locked out of the rapid rate of innovation that's happening. And we've actually been working with public LLM models and our own models. Today, we have 70 AI-powered use cases because we've been doing this since 2018. 40 of them are using 4 public LLM models that are running in Microsoft OpenAI. And that's giving us the ability to make sure that you have a secure environment to run in. And 3 of them, or 30 of them, are using our own open source models. And the key thing about the architecture that we built is, one, that we're able to support any of the models. The models could be running on AWS. The models could be Cohere. The models could be from GPT-4.5, from Mistral, et cetera. We're making all of those available. Plus, we're working on domain-specific models. For example, across all tickets, what should prioritization be? Or industry-specific models. And account-specific models, which is leveraging your language, your conversation, the interaction that you're having with your customers, and building models to have more better grounding for you. And the key thing around all of this is the LLM gateway. So this LLM gateway, the large language model gateway, actually makes sure that the apps running on top, the IT service management app, the sales apps, the customer service apps, et cetera, are not impacted when we change out the models under the cover. So we can do better A/B testing. We have more fault tolerance if a model is not performing, or we're able to give SLAs around performance, cost, and latency. So this makes sure that the minute a new model comes out, within 2 weeks, we're able to get that model into our environment so that our apps can benefit from those models. And last thing is around trust and security. Your data being your data and zero data leakage. First of all, we've been a SaaS company for many years. We have 69,000 customers. So the security of our infrastructure, the role-based access controls, who has access to production, data being encrypted at rest, encrypted in motion, all of that is there as the foundation. But what that has to build on is around generative AI. So for example, around safety, how do you take care of prompt injection? How do you take care of jailbreaking in prompts? Think of it as the world when firewalls did not exist. And you had to create a firewall to make sure that there was not unauthorized access, or people were being able to do things that you didn't want them to do. Along those same lines, being able to have content moderation. How do you take out abusive language? How do you take out inappropriate context that is coming through? So in addition to safety, we also focused on privacy. So when we send the data to the models, the PII data is masked out. So the models are never getting the PII data. And by the way, all of these models are running in our tenancy. And so while they might even use public LLM models, your data is not going out into the internet. And then we have explainability and accuracy. Accuracy is probably the #1 concern, where you want to make sure that the responses being provided to your employees or your customers is accurate. So we're being able to cite sources, so you as admins can see these are all the responses that went out, these were the sources associated with those responses. And then we're also able to make sure that you have a citation of the audit trail of what all happened along the way. So we focused on security being #1. That has always been our ethos, and now we're moving that to make sure that your generative AI is secure. So with that, just wanted to say our focus is to help you reimagine your day, how you can drive up significant deflection, how you can make your agents much more productive by offloading tasks from them, and how you as business leaders can get a lot more value so that your customers are happier, your agents are more productive, there's less churn on those agents, and your day is more productive. Thank you.